and human. And Jena's going to be doing a little workshop here and helping you understand what exactly that means. So she's going to be working from her computer, talking, and if you've had the experience of one of Jena's trainings, there's going to be a lot of information in a short period of time. Her aspiration is to, excuse me, can you start using that door back there from now on? Thank you. So anyway, she's going to be doing a lot of information in a short period of time. She has an aspiration that you're going to have this done in the 30 minutes. I told her that's probably not possible. But if you want to try and keep up with her, I encourage you to do that because I'm sure it'll be worthwhile. But the good news is we're recording it so you can go back to Business Growth Network Facebook page and refresh or pick up what you missed. So yeah, we're live streaming. It's right there. So that's exciting. And my head's about half cut off. So anyway, that's cool. And but she's going to be sitting down and going through this. And with her warfare marketing background, I'm very excited to welcome Jena.
I guess I could look up there. So I guess there's a couple new people in here that don't know me already, who haven't heard me talk a minute. My name is Jena Apgar, and I'm a digital marketing strategist. I think we had the business strategist talk. I take specifically your marketing, and I build out what's going to make you money. Oh, am I short? See?
No, it's delayed.
Yeah, my head was cut off too. So, I had the privilege of getting to go down to a workshop live in Austin. One of the things that caught my attention is, you know, normally when in the marketing field, there's so many people out there and they're all doing the same things a different way. One of our partners happened to speak, and his partner, they helped come up with the thing that we're going to talk about today, was one of the mentors that Julie and her husband use, the Wizard of Ads. And my partner, Ryan Dice, they had gotten together and he changed it up a little bit. But it's the same concept, and the concept is called a character diamond, and no business owner really knows what a character diamond is. People who write books and movie scripts and build characters, they know what one is. Why would a business need a character diamond? How many of you in here, when you sit down to write a business email, I don't mean like the little ones in between you and a client, but like a broader campaign message, know what to write or how to write it? How do you write your sales message? How do you write your mission statement? How do you write anything that needs to sell, sales copy, for your business in a way that's dynamic and works and people actually want to read, and it doesn't sound like every other business out there? Julie, how many plumbers are in your area?
Hundreds.
100. How do you stand out as the premier plumber? Business strategist, we have 2 in the room. Business growth strategist specifically, right?
Right. First time it's ever happened.
I know. Realtors, how many times have you walked into a room and they're like a networking room, there's like 10 other realtors? Or a financial advisor. So how do you separate yourself from a pack? So the best example that I've ever heard, and I'm a little bit of a nerd, so my nerd's gonna come out here. Does anybody ever watch the movies like Marvel, DC? Well, there's my daughter in the back going, yes, me!
Never.
Never?
Never seen one.
In the world of Marvel versus DC, I got the kids' attention. Marvel has been kicking DC's butt in the box office with their characters. Why do people like Marvel better than DC? Everyone knows Superman, right? He's like the man of steel, like this super stoic guy who always does the right thing, and he pretty much has no character flaw. Yes, him and Kryptonite don't get along, but that's not a character flaw, right. That's a physical weakness, right? He's perfect, right? He has no flaws. Now think of Iron Man. The idea of Tony Stark. So he's like this brilliant guy, putting together machines, but he's a very flawed human being, a womanizer, self-centered, all these interesting things, but that's what makes him interesting. People like watching him because they can relate to him. He's not perfect. There's no one in this room that's perfect, and nobody wants to talk to someone who's perfect. It's not interesting. By creating a character diamond, you can create a character for your company where your brand, all your copy can focus around. It doesn't have to be like you have a mascot and, you know, Tony Stark is your company person writing. It's when you're trying to write your sales copy that you're embodying them, that you're almost like slipping into an actor's position when you write, how would Tony Stark write this email? Where do you see that? I think the best example you can see that in a corporation is Apple. Apple in the very beginning, it was a company, it was a computer company competing, and it didn't have a lot of competition back in the day. But there was a point where they took the founder and kicked him out. Anybody know the founder of Apple?
Steve Jobs.
There we go. When Jobs left, Apple failed. He was the heart and soul of the company. When he came back, Apple succeeded. Now that he's gone again, Apple's product and everyone's getting a little upset again. He's the soul. So how do you take the soul of the company and put it into the company without the person? And if you are the big corporation, how do you put that soul back in for the little one? That's also the way how you grow, and it's not just about you anymore. So, y'all have a little piece of paper in front of you, right? I want you to flip it over to the back though, and I hope you all have pens. I never bring pens, but I'm hoping y'all did. And on the top there, Zip, I'm filming, man. You can participate. Participate, Zip. Come on now. We got 2 cameras. We got you. On the back here, I want you to write, say, 10 of your most favorite characters, historical figures, mentors, 10 people or things you love. And this doesn't have to be literal. It can be Speedy Gonzales, the cartoon character. It can be Benjamin Franklin. Just characters or people. Get another Coke, please. People that you like. Any questions about that? Don't make it too hard. Just 10 people. It could be Batman. It could be Bruce Wayne. What are some of the examples? Lloyd, I'm going to pick on you first.
I'm trying to think of who I like besides me.
What books do you like? Okay, if you don't want to think about people, what books do you like to read? What are your favorite Bible stories? What is your favorite antidote?
I like Jack Bauer.
Jack Bauer?
24.
Is that a TV show? Okay,
Yeah.
there you go.
Jason Bourne.
I love Jason Bourne. Who didn't want
Right.
that? What about books? Favorite books? Stories?
Favorite book would be The Slight Edge.
There you go. TV shows? Game of Thrones?
Band of Brothers.
There you go.
Perry Mason, favorite
I
TV show.
loved Perry Mason.
Uh,
My only black and white that I have ever liked.
favorite sitcom, Barney Miller.
Barney Miller. Zip, what about you?
Tom and Jerry.
Love Tom and Jerry.
Cartoon.
Again, they were flawed. Right?
Big time.
Jim Rome. Yeah.
John, what about you?
I was going to say Jim Rome.
You too? Rand?
Zig Ziglar.
Who's got 10 already? Randy knows Seinfeld?
I have Seinfeld. That's right up there.
I have a prize for whoever actually finishes, by the way.
Can it be anything? Like, I love avocados.
Sure.
Okay.
It's going to make the next question a little bit more difficult, but sure. Ryan, what about you? Favorite story, character, movie, TV show? You're supposed to be writing down 8.
TV show The Americans.
American what?
The Americans.
The Americans. Is that the spy
Favorite-
one with the Russians?
Favorite
Everyone loves Raymond.
favorite movie is Casablanca.
There we go.
Play it again, Sam.
House of Cards is good. It's a little
Yeah,
ruthless.
he never said
It's
again.
right up my alley. What about you, Mark?
One of the ones I picked, which one?
Oh, sorry, there's 2 marks.
Reading a book on Benjamin Franklin. It's very interesting.
This Mark.
I picked, I like both Jason Bourne and James Bond.
James Bond is good. No Rambos in here?
Winston Churchill.
Winston Churchill's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jack Ryan's good.
Does anybody not have at least 4 down?
Oh, God. Yeah, nice.
You don't have 4? What about Roger? If you had to like list 4 for Roger. Thank you so much.
Interesting that mine are all men.
Well, you're a guy, right? Mine were mostly girls. I mean, I still have like, every time I thought of a boy when I tried to think of a girl version.
That went with it.
Yeah. Because if you look through like all of the characters in history, it's always like the same characters. If you took like the same 20 characters, it's someone's really smart, intelligent, almost to the point. Huh? You got 10.
I thought
He's
you
got
said
10.
wait. I only needed 8.
8, 10, somewhere. Just give me something to work with, right? Well, some of these are struggling to get 1. Jon Snow's cool.
Full new moon.
Tesla.
Tesla's good. Tesla the company or Tesla the dude?
guy.
The guy.
He was so far ahead.
The original test.
The original. The guy came up with wireless
Yeah.
before wireless existed.
Him and Marconi.
Marconi.
Well,
Marconi is radio.
All right, so now I'm going to ask you a harder question.
but
I
check
want-
the U.S. Patent Office and see why we didn't pay royalties to Marconi after World War I because Tesla already had the patent.
Right.
Little bit of that.
The second question is I want you to write down everything it is you like about what you listed above. What is it about Tesla that you like his personality traits? Did you like that he was smart, a savant, underappreciated? Both the good and the bad. I don't just want the good traits. I want all the traits that represent why you like that.
Avocados was the easiest.
Which one? Why
Good
is that?
fat. Good fat.
Good fat.
Yeah.
So for the guys that all said Born, what do you like about Born?
Takes risk.
Takes risks. There's a positive one. Not just he punches throats in. What about Benjamin Franklin? Maybe said that one.
Well, he originally wrote a lot of fake news.
The original fake news guy.
Yeah, he did a lot of that to persuade people.
So
And he
persuasive,
had back channels. Well,
less than ethical.
he was in France during the Revolutionary War, working on the U.S.'s behalf because Britain was beating their ass, at the time, and they said, "You need a navy." And
But he's
France-
a very dynamic character.
He
There were things he was really good
very
at.
influential in getting money and getting assistance to help fight the British because it was common enemy.
Now what were the bad sides though?
the bad sides? Womanizer, I had a lot of,
Drank a lot. Couldn't keep a secret.
Consider that.
illegitimate heritage. But overall, it's interesting.
But we still like him, even with all his flaws.
His face is on the $100 bill. George Washington's on the one. Which would you rather have?
Who else picks something they've got answers for?
Churchill, humorous, great leader, in his order, strong command of the English language, courageous, was unflappable.
What about some flaws?
Real thing.
Yeah.
He's a man after my own heart.
Probably.
Chain smoker.
Yeah.
You think about every positive usually has a flip side too. Every single plot positive. Most people that are extremely smart, super logical, can crunch through numbers, lack emotional capabilities. They just want to see the world in numbers. So if you're having problems finding out what some of the flaws are, look at what the greatest feature of them is, what makes them, the part that you like the most. What's the flip side of that character trait?
Tesla was forward-thinking, terrible at business.
Didn't care about money.
Had royalties on electric generation, tore it up when Westinghouse realized it was going to cost them too much money. He said, just tore up the contract and died penniless.
Do that for about at least 4 characters so that you have a healthy mix of traits. And the idea is to start finding commonalities amongst all the people that you picked and start grouping them. So if you picked what's the die-hard guy?
Bruce
Willis.
No, but what's his character name in Die Hard? John McClane. There you go. Rambo, Bourne, all of them have, you know, very similar characters, right? In fact, pretty much every man action flick ever made, right, is the exact same character. Super strong, not feeling, just direct. Kingsman. That's more of a Bond. I mean, I guess that's still action, but that's what I mean by grouping. If you pick so many of these different ones, you'll start to find character traits that are exactly the same amongst all the favorite ones you've picked. Any questions so far? Anybody care to share?
But there is Margaret Bordeaux, I think it was. And I think she's pretty cool because she basically inspired Cersei Lannister for one. She helped rule England because her husband was a bad king. Her son turned out to be pretty bad though and evil.
Like Joffrey?
She was bad at breaking news. Very manipulative.
And this is a character you want to be like?
No, but she was a good, strong female.
I think I just learned something new about you.
She was also involved in the War of the Ring.
I'm noticing that almost all of the flip sides are the same.
Yeah.
They're all idealistic. They want to portray perfection in
Okay.
some way, shape, or form. So, it's interesting.
Who is going to be the mascot, what's the word I'm looking for? The person in your business. For everyone in here, I kind of assume it's you, right? I picture yours being Roger, though. Roger's kind of a large personality. This would be built for whoever that person is going to be in your company. So like I said, most of y'all, her will be Roger. Start picking out the ones that reflect your company and that mascot, that person the most. So again, everyone else here, it's yourself. For you, it's Roger. And start picking out and circling and grouping those character traits. The hard ones are going to be usually the good ones. Which good trait do you want to mirror yourself? And then trying to select the bad ones, like he said, usually all those fall into the same category pretty easily. Does that make sense for everybody?
Yep.
Do you know who you are already? Now think about through all those, it doesn't have to be the books or the characters you listed. Start putting those down and kind of grouping them up here. So on the piece of paper, we have your primary character trait. Which one out of all those positive traits that you listed out, which grouping has the most in there? Which is the strongest positive character trait?
Just one?
For the top one, yeah, just one.
She's just at the
What's the one is the most significant that you want to most represent you, most represent your business, best represent your business? And that might be a big reflection of what kind of business you're in. What do you need to be? Doing some of the research for Julie's company, Benjamin Franklin, they talked to over 1,000 potential and customers that they had, and they determined Benjamin Franklin was the one that would represent them best. Like, they actually just went full front and said, we pick Benjamin Franklin because he was, what's the coin phrase that Benjamin Franklin has?
Cannot tell a lie.
Cannot tell a lie.
No, that's
No.
George Washington.
No, that was something about
chopping down the
time.
Cherry tree?
which turns out to be.
That Benjamin
not true.
Franklin was time or
Yeah.
something. I can't remember.
And a penny
saved,
saved is a
penny
penny earned.
But all these traits were things that they were able to project. Everything that we, as a consumer base, whether you're B2B or B2C, it's still human to human. We all are raised, with a culture, right? And when you're choosing a character, part of that is you're taking everything that people know about this character and you're using it to put it into your business so that you don't necessarily have to say things. It's projected without you even really knowing it or doing it on purpose. You can put Benjamin Franklin's face on something, and all the good traits and maybe some of the bad ones that come with Benjamin Franklin are now part of your business and projected without you saying a word. In the same way you did, Abraham Lincoln, you got Honest Abe. Honesty is going to be something that's automatically projected, and when you start to be able to really write your copy as if you are acting as if that person, that will start to come across too. So you don't have to have an image of Benjamin Franklin if you start to talk like him and act like him when you are building your website or your copy. Or what would he do? How would he structure, or she structure, any of their business activities? That's where this is starting to come in play. So what is that primary character trait that you need in your business based off the ones that you chose? And then down here at the bottom, what is that secondary kind of complementary, not the same one, what is that second one going to be? And then the hard one that nobody wants to admit. What is going to be the weakness and the flaw? Idealistic, womanizing, always late, scatterbrained. What are some popular ones? Not emotional, not empathetic, not sympathetic.
Indecisive.
Indecisive, jerk, violent, temper. What is that thing that's going to make you human, make your business human? And then the last one, what is the non-negotiable stance?
What does that mean?
What is the one thing that you cannot stand for?
What do you mean?
What would be a good? It might be that you just can't, like, think about the movies, you just can't stand for the lie. I will never tell a lie. Like, you would rather hurt someone's feelings by being brutally honest than tell a lie, even a little white lie. Like for me, the one that I chose for my business is I can't stand to do something wrong for the client. I would rather lose money by choosing something else or pointing them in another direction than put them something that's not going to be positive for what they need. I'd rather tell a partner, I can't send my clients to you because I'm sorry, you pay well, but your service sucks. You're just not there yet. So what's the one line you cannot cross that's just, doesn't matter the weakness, doesn't matter the good or the bad, it's the one line that can't be crossed?
For me, it's pressure to buy. I won't pressure someone to buy. I just refuse to do that. They want it, they want it. They don't, they don't.
There you go. Randy?
Dishonesty.
You too, John?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Dishonesty? Is that like a small business owner type of thing?
I didn't have to be, I have to be a small business.
Yeah, that's true. This is the overall character.
Just to kind of lack of integrity. Put the two together. Pick one of the other.
Yeah, integrity. Yeah.
That's true. That does. Rand? Zip?
Honesty. Confidentiality.
Which one?
Confidentiality.
Confidentiality. That's a good
That's a
one.
good one.
Honesty? David?
Yeah, basically it's honesty. I mean, the worst thing you can do for me is try to, what I call, retrade the deal. You commit to something, you do it. Even if it's turns
Commitment.
out to be, you decide that you made a mistake,
Yeah.
you still follow through with
It's
your
integrity.
So your commitment.
See,
Your
honesty-
commitment is your bond with me.
See, for
You
me,
break that and you're done.
My primary and secondary traits are honesty and integrity. You
Right.
gotta have that up front.
Yeah.
If you don't have that, you don't have nothing. in my opinion.
Well, I kind of put it something differently. I just put, my primary is honesty. My second one is doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And it's integrity. Doing what you say.
Nobody's going to be the same. I'm in shock that everyone just had honesty. Like, out of all the things that you could pick out. What about you, Ryan?
I feel honesty, yeah.
It comes into like trust. But I threw in my pet peeve is bad tech support. I had to hang up with AT&T yesterday because they're more interested in contact information than getting me information. And then the information they told me was so wrong.
Crappy.
I just said, I'll solve it myself. And hung up on them.
I'll Google it.
Then we started discussion about maybe you shouldn't be on AT&T anymore. You know, it just
Really?
I'm doing, you know, I'm looking out for, okay, we got two entities. One start, you know, like Spectrum started to offer higher speeds, same cost, and they're dropping the ball on tech support. Maybe we should play games back and forth. It's just a pet peeve of mine. Ran into bad tech support, I'll hang up on them in a heartbeat, solve it myself. That's what I did.
So for the ones that had something that was super similar on both, if y'all put both of those together and just said, let's integrity, honesty, that trustworthiness, if you put that all in your main one, what would your second one be?
Sorry.
Dependable.
I thought that was on the non-negotiable. The honesty thing was on.
Well, some people had them as, like Lloyd was mentioning, he has it as both his
Oh,
primary
I
and
see.
character
Okay,
trait
gotcha.
and his secondary one,
Okay.
so his non-negotiable was no pressure self. Like,
Got it. Okay.
I don't like to pressure people. So what would be another compliment, something that's completely different than honesty and integrity? What would be that secondary character trait? There you go.
Reliable information. I'm not gonna
Education.
mislead you.
There you go.
For me, it's lack of teachability.
There you go.
You know, I can't help somebody if they're not teachable.
Is that a character trait?
Impatience. I'm the same way. If you're not going to pay attention and want to learn, that might be your weakness flaw.
See,
Impatience.
that's my weakness, flaw is that I'm too patient. I'm very patient. And
Too patient.
Yeah, I'm way too patient, I think. And it gets frustrating sometimes because I'm patient and it leads right into no pressure sales. So, you know, it's like, well, you know, at some point you just really have to say, okay,
Yeah.
here's the deal. If you want it, call me.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
and move on. So,
Let's see, one of Dice's theirs was irreverence. They could care less who they're talking to. Oh, you're the president? That's nice. Nice to meet you. Next. So think about all the different traits. You don't have to stick to the same ones. Like, if there's so many people saying honesty in here, it almost makes me like break out of the box a little bit. So put it up there on the top, but pick something completely different down there on the bottom. And then when you've got them all in there, what characters do you know that fit those four stances, those four traits?
interesting.
Does anybody have anybody top of mind?
Me.
Me?
Real life person or?
Or storybook character, or
Paul Newman.
Paul Newman. A singer?
No,
Singer?
no, he's an actor.
Oh my God, he's an actor.
He must
He's
be
also
really
a
young.
businessman, a philanthropist,
What we have here
Newman's own.
is a favorite.
right?
Salad
Salad
dressing,
dressing.
organic coffee,
Okay.
blend.
And it all
But it
fits
was,
with his personality.
he's an actor.
Okay.
Mine would be.
I had
Yeah.
my primary character trait storybook,
It's also a race car driver.
and
There is purpose.
Jesus is
Do anything with
sort of
your
of everybody. Well, and the secondary character trait is an action taker, somebody that actually does what they say they will do.
Okay.
Say
So what
you
is
do,
the
do what
one
you say.
character that could fit all four of those points on the diamond?
Abraham Lincoln.
There you go. That would be the one for you?
Me is.
Outlanded.
I can't remember. What did you do again? Like business-wise?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Summer shades.
Before what I'm doing now, I own a home inspection business now.
Okay. So how could Abraham Lincoln help you with that? How would he talk inside that business that would be unique from how you write copy and talk to customers now?
Well, just make sure that, you know, when he's meeting with a customer, that they, you know that he's gonna do what's right for them. He's gonna give them all the right information.
Even if it's not what they want?
Even if it's not what they
You gotta tell them the truth.
He's gonna tell them the truth. He's going to do what's right for them and what's right for the home that they want to buy. He's going to build trust with them to the point that, you know, they're going to know what the whole story is. When they come out of it, they may not like what they heard, but they're going to know that the man in front of them told them the truth.
Because is that the real Abraham Lincoln or the fictionalized Abraham Lincoln?
Pick one. It's the one that people know already,
The one
right?
that we've been taught.
Probably not the zombie, or what is it? Zombie hunter?
I didn't know there was one.
There you go. That's why you don't know about it. Anybody else pick one?
Eagle.
I did.
Which one?
Eagle.
Ego?
The eagle.
The eagle. Like the American bald eagle, or?
No, the eagle that soars above.
Okay.
Condos. Yeah. That is not like everybody else.
Sounds like a business mascot right there.
Yeah, a lot of people use the eagle.
How does the eagle go into your business? What is the eagle, how is he going to deal with something versus how you deal with it now?
Well, that's my logo. The eagle is
Okay.
a part of the logo because it, you know, it weathers the storms of business. And
What's its character flaw?
along
What does that mean as a trait?
Well, it's a strength, but it's also a weakness. You know, the eagle doesn't scratch with chickens.
It's not a part of the team that overlooks the process, but it's not in the process. That's how I would say.
Hunts alone.
It hunts alone.
Trying to find the bad part of that.
Doesn't make friends.
Not a
easily.
team player?
Not a team player.
Not a team player, may not get to where it needs to get as soon as you might need it sometimes.
Or the way you want it.
The way you want it.
Right. You may not get the results, maybe not turn out the way you want them. It'll be the way he wants it.
So that one I would focus on definitely on the negative side of that. Like, what are the other sides of the eagle? I mean, everybody always puts those good sides on it. Think about the, you know, the weakness of the eagle and make sure you personify that as well. And it might just be simply telling clients, like, look, I'm not here to be your friend.
Yeah.
I mean, I've told people that in meetings before. I'm like, I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. But when you tell somebody, a business owner who's sitting across from you, who's built a company making $35 million a year, he trusts a person who will tell him you're wrong. Because everyone else is saying, yes, yeah, sure, that sounds good. Sounds good.
Those are the people you hire to work for you. They'll tell you what you want to hear.
It depends.
You hire external people.
Depends
to
if
tell
you're
you
a
what you
Trump
want.
or are you a person who likes yes men? Are you a narcissist? Or do you want to
Yeah.
you want the pain to grow? So not everyone's going to want somebody who's like that. Some people
Actually being facetious.
but there are people who want people to just tell them they're right. That's another tactic in a meeting. You just have to decide who you're talking to.
Yeah, you're right. There are people that won't boob kiss or
I mean, part of it is saying, hey, you've done this right. You have to, sugarcoat the pill a little bit. But at some point, you have to say, not here to be your friend.
In the end, you want the truth. You don't want to be sugarcoated.
I think that's easy to say in an ideal world. I don't think a lot of people feel that way. A bunch of business owners might feel that
Well,
way.
yeah, but you still want to know if you're doing the right thing, but you don't want to be, being told yes all the way until you fail.
Right. That's right.
Rayanne, what you got?
It just came to me when you talked about thinking Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes is a popular one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Kind of like Columbo.
Yeah,
Does that one fit well in your business?
Yeah, Sherlock Holmes would.
The kind of person who will just keep on, like he just gets stuck on a project and keep on hammering at it until it's more important to finish the project than all the obstacles that are He'd risk a bullet.
It's more,
Well, not you, but
it's more important to figure out where the calls come from
Right.
than treating someone.
Right.
Persistent.
yeah, very persistent.
Digging for all the information and not giving up until you find out all the
All you have
pieces.
knows where
Ability
they
to
are.
connect the dots.
Now, what's the
Amen.
flaw?
The flaw is something that I experienced this last weekend, is to not overlook the overall project, the overall person.
No,
And
that's not.
sometimes be so focused on the area and you miss the whole picture. You have to include that.
But that's not a flaw for Holmes. Holmes sees everything.
That's what I kind of feel like. Holmes is always.
Yeah, he sees everything in and out of the box.
But he's in his bubble.
Yeah.
Personally.
That's the problem with him. He's totally antisocial. But he gets away with it because he's always right.
Zip, you're hiding back there. Who you
Just
got?
like Columbo. Same thing.
Oh, I don't know.
Got everybody? Couldn't narrow it down to one?
Yes, it would be Jim Rohn.
Who's that?
A motivational speaker.
Okay. What's the flaw?
I don't know.
He doesn't have one.
Oh, everyone's got a flaw.
Yeah, but we don't know. We don't know Jim Rohn sufficiently to know his
He
flaw.
died
Because
2 years ago. but he
yeah, you have to
died
know him
5 years
personally.
ago.
Okay, that's as full as dead.
there you go. He's no
I'm not
longer
sure
alive.
that's the one you want to go with.
Yeah, he's no longer alive.
Mark.
Darn it.
Something happened up here.
I'm still mixing them all up, so I'm.
Hey, that's
I'm gonna pick
okay.
one. I haven't really got one solid. One that I'm working on is his name's Ed. He was one of my first bosses a long time ago. And I think he's still around. I haven't been able to talk to him lately. He's kind of hard to track. But he was a complete class act and leader that everybody liked and everything like that. Very smart. Unlike some of the others, the Hans and the Borns and all that, and Sherlock Holmes, he was able to take complicated things and figure out the right answers and get people to go the right direction.
But the flaw is.
It's the fact that sometimes he just seemed too nice and didn't call people out when he needed to.
He didn't have that direct honesty, the hard honesty.
Yeah, he would phrase it in such a soft way that some people wouldn't get it. He wouldn't call him out. He would just let him go.
Your turn.
I'm gonna still give number 8. Sherlock Holmes. Gets the job done, but when it's not really a team player at all.
How does that relate to real estate?
Real estate? Well, there's a lot, there's something aspects. Well, I'm not much of a team player myself, so.
In real estate, you have a problem to solve.
Yeah, we need to sell something, we need to buy something, and we need to get there together. But for me, it ends up a lot with trying to get people to understand what they need, rather than I would like to buy this house in Highland Park for $100,000.
I would too.
Yeah, I'll line up around the corner with you.
You can't get the land for $100,000.
You can't get a front porch for $100,000.
I looked.
I check all the time. I sold a 1-bedroom condo for $350. So, yeah, but and that lady thought that she had $200,000 that she wanted to buy a condo in University Park. And,
God bless her.
Location.
You can rent an
location,
apartment
location.
if won't have air conditioning, but
luckily she had $200,000 cash and she had a mortgage for the rest.
yeah. Julie and plumbing. What did you come up with?
I often feel like, and they call us and there's an emergency, so they need a hero. You know,
Okay.
So I always think of that. And I think of the song, the old song from the '80s, "I Need a Hero"
Mhm.
by Bonnie and Tyler. So I mean, I guess just off the top of my head, something like a Superman. You can go and see X-ray vision. We can get to whatever is leaking. We can see through the walls. We can see underneath the slab and overcome the obstacles to solve the problem.
You see that a lot as a caricature on plumbers, heating and air conditioning trucks. They have the Cape Crusade or somebody who does exactly what.
I didn't want to use it, but just off the top of my head.
Yeah, but it does seem to be a theme.
Well, there's a lot of heroes, so
Right.
would it be Superman?
That's the one I'm thinking of. It's not the one that I would want to use, but right now.
Again, though, what is the flaw then of the hero?
Sometimes they tear up too much stuff.
Save the lady, but kill the building.
Yeah.
I'm noticing in the old 50s era Superman series, there's a lot of bad science. Terrible science. Yeah. They just get real liberal with the science. It's like, no, you're way
Because nobody cared then.
Like, let's make these knives out of cast iron. That'll be great.
Yeah, it's not good.
You can just walk your wall.
Aquaman?
Aquaman, there you go.
Well, he's getting big now that he's going to be in like the.
What is Aquaman's character? What is his personality?
Does he swim? Is that
He's
the hero?
He's a king for one. He's very loyal to his people, but then if it's his people or people that are on land, he's gonna pick under the sea.
Has to do with water.
Has to do with water, which is a plumber.
Acid Jordan or something. Okay.
So where are you taking us?
So where are you taking us? The idea is, especially this table, we didn't kind of go over here, but do you have a character now?
Me.
Or at least you have the
I'm a character.
You are, but pick one a little bit more fictional, right? Take yourself out of the equation. That's why like the me is not it. Picking something that's completely out. For all of y'all, whenever you are writing any kind of automation series, like so I can go in and I can put lots of templates that have succeeded, that have done absolutely well. The problem is the entire world is seeing those exact same words because people didn't change them up even a little bit.
Right.
You know, so you've got 10,000 different companies using the same email templates. How do you make yourself separate so when somebody else sees it, anybody in here a copywriter? Didn't hear anybody say copywriting. Anybody here a book writer? Screenplay writer? Do you know how to tell a story professionally? You're a business owner. Now instead of when you go down and you go to write that email to your client, step into the character. What would Abraham Franklin, put two of them together. What would Abraham Lincoln say? What would Sherlock Holmes say? You don't have to say what would I say or what's good sales copy, and you pick the most general, generic garbage that everybody has seen. What would your character say human to human?
WWJD. Right.
Who was your character?
Well, Jesus was the first name on my
Newman?
list.
Oh.
No,
See, Jena went to what would Jena do? That's what she
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that would be good
That
too.
one's gonna get you into some trouble. Completely different two trains of thought there.
That's right.
I want you, when you're doing your business, when you're deciding what to say, when you're in an in-person meeting, when you're writing an email, when you're putting together an advertisement, instead of what would I say or what would be the best sales copy, what would your character say?
So in a sense, are you saying create an avatar for our business?
Yes.
In a persona that we feel meets these characteristics?
Yes.
Okay. Now
So like even like 3 years ago when I was first doing social media, I cannot speak, when you're trying to take it over from a small business owner who is the company, how do you learn how to talk like them?
Right.
You have to pick up their words and so it all looks congruent, right?
Yeah.
So it was almost like acting. You like slip into and you become a little bubbly personality, or you're a little darker, or you're a little direct. This is the same thing. You're jumping into a character that's not you, that's beyond you. And you're picking something that's different. Take what all your customers are. What do they want to see? What are all your competitors doing? Be different. Be human. Every interaction, whether you're B2B or B2C, is human to human. No one in here is talking to computers, I don't think, maybe the IT guy. Even he's human to human. At this point, we're still human to human, and people want to feel like they're not just talking to an empty salesperson. If you have the character flaws and you are not perfect, and if you can project this character in a full way, that's why I'm not sure I like Superman. He was exactly the example I used of not having a flaw. Being, allergic to kryptonite really isn't a flaw. That's like, yeah, if you break my knee, I can't walk. So what is, yes?
Well, if you go into like the Supergirl TV show, he's so focused about what's good for him with the kryptonite that he forgets the kryptonite can also be used against other people like him and help when fighting the bad guys that come in the show.
So you would have to choose that Superman then, because the traditional Superman is like the perfect guy.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect hair.
Perfect hair, right? Does anybody have any questions how this is applicable?
Flaw is. He's a liar.
He's a liar? He won't tell anybody who he
Yeah,
is.
he disguises himself.
That's
He hides his
That's
true
fair.
identity.
Living along.
A public face and a private face?
Yep.
Any questions? This is a little higher but especially when companies are creating mascots like the plumbing company who chose Benjamin Franklin. Mascots sell. Mascots, people like talking to them, and it doesn't just need to be you. So how are you going to talk to your clients? Any questions?
No.
All good?
That was good.
Yeah.
That was really good.
All right. Thank you.
Great.